guys, it's Tara here with American Country Essentials. Today I'm super excited because I'm going to teach you how to make soap. This recipe that I'm doing today is a twist on Country Paradise, which is found on my website. A bride actually hired me to do her shower favors, and she customized it a little bit to go with her theme as well as her colors, and she wanted a different scent than what Country Paradise is. So that's what we're doing today.
Each soap recipe is a mixture of hard oils and liquid oils. To begin, I first melt down all of the hard oils. The complete recipe is going to be linked below this video. I do this process by using just a double boiler and melting everything down. I use beeswax as well to make a harder bar, and that kind of takes a while for it to melt down, so this is why I begin this process while I am prepping all my other materials and supplies. In this pot, I have all my liquid oils measured out. Once the hard oils are melted, they will then get combined with these oils. The hard oils are obviously completely melted down, so then I will take these hard oils that are now liquid and combine them into the liquid oils. Just be careful, this is extremely hot. These oils will need to cool down. Right now they're at 121.5 degrees. I need to get them below 100 degrees so they'll sit for a bit. For these favors, the bride chose rose gold as the color she would like. So I always prep the colorants first. This is titanium dioxide, and then I dilute it with sweet almond oil. This makes it so it mixes better into the soap. This is going to be the main color of the soap. And then I do the same thing with the rose gold. It's a rose gold mica, so it's going to have a really pretty shimmery color. Same thing, mix it with sweet almond oil. I always make sure that my equipment is ready to go. That way, once the soap making process begins, everything is prepped and ready for you. This bride also chose Lavender Essential Oil, so that is measured out prior to as well. This is the mold that I use for Country Paradise. This is an impression mat, so the soap will go actually into those grooves and make a really cool print on the soap once it is completed.
So first things first, safety is really important when you're making soap, because we actually do work with lye or sodium hydroxide. So if you're not familiar with working with lye, I would really research it. Make sure you have the proper safety equipment and that you're following the proper protocol, because you can get lye burns, and I've gotten plenty of them and they hurt. So the first thing is you need gloves. I wear long sleeves and safety glasses. All of my soap is made with 100% raw goat's milk, courtesy of my girls, Snap, Crackle, and Pop. Once I milk the girls, then if I'm not using it right away, then it gets frozen. In order to make soap, the milk actually has to be frozen. So everything is measured out, ready to go. This is the goat's milk, just cut into pieces, and it's in an ice bath. Temperature is really, really important when making goat milk soap. If you get the goat's milk too hot, it'll actually burn, and it becomes this really gross yellow color, and I'm looking for more of a white ivory. This is actually our lye, so it's been measured out, and then these are our melted oils.
Once your safety equipment is on, you want to slowly add the lye to the frozen goat's milk. You want to do this in sections, not using all of the lye at once. That way you avoid scorching the milk and getting that yellow color that I discussed. You want to take your time with this part. You want to make sure that all the lye dissolves in the goat's milk, and you want to make sure you kind of move your goat milk and lye solution around in the ice bath, because the ice is starting to melt as well. And again, temperature is key here, so you want to make sure it is as cool as possible.
I'm going to temp this. So we're at 97.2 degrees. You just want to make sure it's under 100. So that's good. Temp this. It's got to be under 100 degrees, 98.5, so we're good there. Okay, so what's going to happen next is I'm going to combine the lye and the oils, and that's what makes soap. We're going to make it real thin. You're going to grab your stick blender, and you're going to put it in your oils, and you're going to kind of tap it a couple of times. That gets all the air bubbles out at the bottom of the blender. So just tap that a couple of times. You're going to take your lye and goat's milk, and you're going to pour it real slowly down the shaft of the stick blender. It just makes it so this doesn't get real bubbly. Careful with splashing. Tap any more air bubbles that might come out, and we're going to go ahead and stir this up.
Stick blend your lye and oils until fully mixed. You know when it's fully mixed when you start seeing it become a creamy white. You do not want this thick, so you want to make sure you do not overmix. Once everything is fully mixed, pull out 2 scoops of soap into a separate container. In this big container, put in all of the titanium dioxide, as well as I included organic lavender per the bride's request to add a nice exfoliant to it. In the separate container, I mixed the rose gold mica as well as about a teaspoon of the essential oil and mixed it to a thick trace. So you want to get a real thick consistency as you see here. And then I dumped it on the bottom of our mold and started spreading it with a spatula.
Then what you'll do is you'll start grabbing the soap and lifting it out.
This is tricky because you need to go fast so it doesn't dry, but also I'm a perfectionist, so I don't like seeing any streak marks.
And what you want to do is go back to your white soap that should be pretty thick by now, and you're going to add the rest of your essential oil. This is really going to loosen it up.
Careful with splashing here and make sure you mix well.
And what you're going to do is you're going to get your spoon, your little ladle, and you're going to slowly pour this on the soap. You don't want to plop it because then you'll break up the pattern on the bottom.
Don't worry about this being uneven when you're plopping the soap in here. We'll fix that in a little bit.
We're going to kind of shimmy this and get real even. Tap the mold to get any air bubbles out. I get a wooden stick, chopstick, and then I kind of just make a swirl design. You want to make sure that it only goes in just a little bit, because again, don't want to mess up that bottom. So I start up and down, side to side, make just a really cool back design. And then what I do is I take 99% alcohol, rubbing alcohol, and spritz this. And this just makes sure that there's no bubbles. Put the lid on. So now that this is all done, this will go in my big freezer where it stays for 48 hours, at which point I will unmold it. And then once it's unmolded, then I put it back in the freezer whole for another, probably about a week. And then it'll come out and then it'll go on my rack for about 2 weeks whole. And then at which point I will cut it as long as it's hard enough to cut. If it's not, again, I wait. It's kind of a wait and see kind of thing, even though cutting is my favorite part. But you don't want to mess up your pretty masterpiece by kind of jumping the gun on everything. So the whole curing process is about 4 to 6 weeks. All right, so the soap has been in the freezer for 48 hours. So I am ready to take off the mat, and I wanted to show you what this looks like.
I already took this out of the box, so what you're going to do is flip it over. Make sure it's on a flat surface when you're doing this.
We're going to slowly peel this back. And if you get any kind of sticking, you want to stop and put it back in the freezer.
Even though it is extremely tempting, don't get overzealous here and rip the mat off quickly. You want to make sure you go nice and slow so you don't damage your soap.
So now that the mat is off, I'm really, really happy with this. The color is really vibrant. I love the whole pieces of lavender that you can see spread out throughout the entire soap. And I love the way it smells. The lavender is just really pungent. Thank you so much for watching and learning how to make soap. I hope you learned something. If you have any questions about the entire process or soap making in general, please comment below this video. You can also visit my website. All of my information is on there. And if you're interested and you want some customizable soap, please don't hesitate to contact me. I'd love to be part of your special day. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon.
If you like this video and want to see more, please subscribe to my channel and like and share this video. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook as well. For homemade products made at this ranch, visit AmericanCountryEssentials.com, which is linked below.